YouTubians, Gary VWJawbreaker, welcome back to another video where we are working on this Overland trailer that doesn't really look like an Overland trailer yet, but we're getting closer. So, to bring you up to speed, this is a Coleman Versa trailer where we started off with this little trailer here, removed the fiberglass top, added a steel structure to make the top taller and for storage, added crossbar system for the rooftop tent. Then after that, we went ahead and got the solar all straightened out, the electrical all straightened out. So now we are looking pretty good. Off camera, you know, we put the jacks in the back. I ended up putting 2 jacks up front. So now we have a jack in all 4 corners. And then off camera, I also went ahead and added this aluminum trim just to help trim off the corners. All that is 1-inch aluminum angle. It's thin. Just scuffed everything up real good and used some construction adhesive. It caps it off quite nice. So I decided here in a couple days I'm going to take this thing on a impromptu camping trip. So we got some stuff to button up. Big thing we need to do, we don't have a rear gate. So we need to build some kind of rear hatch gate for back here so we can close things in. So that's first on the docket today. So we'll go ahead and get crack-lacking on that. Then we'll see what kind of time we have, see how much more we can get checked off the to-do list before we take this thing out for its first inaugural camp trip. All right, let's get to work. All right, first thing we need to do is undo something that I didn't think through too well, but it's minor. I put these here to be able to hold things in place. So I've got one on each side, little D-ring. Problem is, I want to run a piece of angle right here to act as a lip. So the angle is going to come in and come over. And that's right in the way. So I think what we'll do is cut it off here, grind that flush, do the same thing on the other side. I should be able to just tack weld the D-ring to that bracket that's still there. So if we just run a slice right there, beat that in some, and then tack weld it, it'll be plenty to hold what little bit we're gonna hold. So we'll do that first, and then go ahead and start trimming out the angle so we can start building the door. been trying to jibber jabber less and get more done, and it's still taking a lot of time, but let me bring you up to speed. So I ended up having to cut fully those D-rings off both corners. We'll just reposition them, re-weld some in, but we got the 1-inch angle all the way around. So my thought process is we're going to use the same thing we built the top extension out of, which is this 3/4 14 gauge. And if you notice, we've got a nice little gap. So if I bring it out to the edge there, it gives me a nice little gap there, but it still has just a little bit. So if I bring it flush, that gives me just enough room back there to run some weather stripping. So this channel right here will actually hold the weather stripping all the way around. So this should help keep everything nice and sealed up. We're going to use the same thing we used somewhere else. I don't remember. Oh yeah, it's where we use the put everything down to the front. It's basically this rubber window seal. Work real good for that. It'll stay nice and adhesive. And then along the bottom for the tailgate, I plan on running a piece of angle on the lid part so it comes down and seals that way, and water will drip down and go past that. So that's kind of my thought. So next, we turn all this square tubing into a rectangle frame. Let's get crack-a-lacking and get that happening. There we go. Like I said, it's got a slight inset, so it should be pretty flush as soon as we get done putting the trim on it, or the weather seal on the inside. I did add some little pieces here, and the reason why is I picked up some of these little latches. So these little latches here will mount here and then be able, well, boy, the lighting's really bad today, be able to pull that shut. So that's the idea, because these will, yeah, they'll screw in, they'll adjust. So next we need to go ahead and pull it down, clean it up, prime it, and then of course, guess what? name of the game lately. Waiting on Amazon to hurry up and get here with my hinges. As soon as the hinges get here, we can mount it up. But we still got stuff we can do in the meantime. So we can go ahead and get it primed and then go ahead and skin it with the aluminum. So let's go ahead and get going on that. Well, if you've ever YouTubed or spent any amount of time recording a video, you know that setup is key, right? Getting in there, trying to get those good shots where sometimes it's almost impossible. What's worse is when you do all that and forget to hit the record button. So let me show you where we are. So thanks to Levi, we're able to go ahead and get the back door done and secure. Got these little latches on there so we can put on both sides. And pick them up, open them up. There you go. Now I do have some gas struts coming, and of course I ordered those late. They're not Amazon's fault. I ordered them late. So they will be here. For now, I'm just going to use a piece of PVC pipe and use that to prop it up and hold it up. So I had an extra one of these third brake lights that I used on the back of the 60. So I figured why not add it in there. And again, we can just run the wires down, around, tuck them in, run them along, down, and I can tie them into the brake light and tail light over on that side. Simple enough. Yes, I still have to trim it out. Yes, I still have a bunch to do. No, the hinges that I ordered from Amazon did not work. So these are 10-inch hinges from Home Depot. Just cut them shorter. Made this shorter since it came way down here. We didn't need that. Cornered, kind of angled the corners a little bit. Once this thing gets painted up, Raptor line and all that, like the 60, it'll look much better. Now, next thing we need to do, besides wire that in and finish up some odd ends, the camping trip this weekend. It's going to be chilly. Yes, in Florida, it does get chilly. It's projected to be 38 on Saturday night and kind of breezy. So, I picked up a diesel heater. It's a 5 kW. It's a max speeding rods or something. It's the only one that would get here in time. Because I ordered it late, I wasn't thinking. I happened to look at the date and I was like, oh, or not the date, but the weather forecast. So basically, I need to go ahead and get this. I wanted an all-in-one so I could possibly, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but possibly mount it up here, which means basically be able to open the door to probably about right there, which is still plenty of room. So I'm thinking about mounting it right there, get power right from the side over here, and then potentially should be able to, I bought some additional 3-inch hose, and this stuff's actually insulated, so I'll be able to run this up into the side of the tent right here, and we'll be able to have heat in the tent. So I've watched a bunch of these YouTube videos. I'm not going to go into depth and detail and all that jazz, just showing you what all needs to be done, blah blah blah. But one thing that we do need to verify, whichever one you get, make sure, I know it's got this crap green fuel line on it, so make sure all your hoses are tight, make sure your connections are tight, especially right here where it comes out. Make sure your electrical connections are tight. I mean, this is basically the same heater that you would get. It's just this one, you know, it has the fuel tank and everything built in, so it's an all-in-one unit, which will work great for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into that, and then here momentarily, we'll put it back together, add some fuel to it. I'll bring you back. Let's see if it fires up first time. All right, well, we've got everything set up. Got a little muffler on there. Comes with some heat wrap. Very nice. Got air input right there. The reason I left everything long for right now is just to kind of see where it's going to go. We put just a little bit of diesel in there. Now the biggest thing they say with these is getting it to prime. So we'll go ahead and power things on. Let's see, turn that on. Should be that one there. Let's turn the light back off. All right, 13 volts, 21 degrees Celsius. There we go, it's on. Fan's on. Crank it all the way up to, I don't even hear the pump kick in yet. You hear the pump starting. It's not really drawing fuel at all. Well, we'll just sit here and see what it does for a few, I guess. Okay, well, I guess we're getting something. Getting a little bit of smoke out for the first time. Not really hot yet, but starting to get some smoke. Alright, so it must be priming okay. That's really kicking up. Definitely getting, fuel pump's definitely going a lot faster. Get a little bit more smoke out. Nothing yet. The remote's kind of cool though. The on off and plus minus. The exhaust is getting hot. Alright, well, that's the gist of it. I'll bring you back when it starts doing something. I've only had you guys off for about 3 minutes, but that's 1, 2, 3. That's pretty hot. That is pretty hot. Definitely impressive. The remote works. It actually shows everything on the LCD right there. But overall, not bad. So we'll go ahead and put the cover back on, let it run for a little while and get all that new smell out of it. Well, I think we pretty much got everything squared away for this coming weekend. At least for the most important things. You know, we got the rooftop tent on, everything done, solar, electrical, battery. We've got the new back built. I've got the light wired in. That's good. It shuts, it locks, well, latches. Doesn't really lock, but that's all right. I think we're good. This thing's been going now for probably a good hour and a half. I went ahead and took some of the spare aluminum that I have and built kind of like a shield around it. This gets warm. Honestly, this is hotter, but at least that way kind of helps see it. And honestly, with 16 foot of that double insulated pipe, it still gets pretty warm here at the output. We're looking about 105, 110, 120. That's pretty good heat coming out of there, and that's on low. So, should definitely keep me warm this weekend. So, I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for sticking around. I think we'll go ahead and call this one good. I know we're gonna find a bunch of odd and end things this weekend that we need to tweak, we need to make better, we need to ixnay, but that's the whole point of this. So I think we'll go ahead and put a pin in it here, call it good. Next video, we'll go ahead and hook this bad boy up to the 60. Go ahead and take this thing on its maiden voyage. Hopefully everything goes well. I guess there's one way to find out, right? So, until next time, guys, be kind to one another and be good.